This is the Child Rights Center of Zugdidi State University, one of the 7 child rights centers supported by UNICEF in Georgia. Today, our subject is violence against children. This is a very important subject. It represents a gross violation of child rights. It's very important to remember when we talk about violence against children that this subject is part of a societal culture. Violence against children is never something isolated from the culture of the society. We have seen many projects, many initiatives targeting only violence against children in isolation of other societal components, and they did not lead to real social changes and to tangible changes in the behaviors of those who exercise violence against children. That's why laws are crucial. Prohibiting violence against children in legal documents of any country is crucial, but it's not sufficient. What is more important or equally important is to change the mindset of those who believe that violence is needed. By saying that, let me touch on the issue of raising children and how parents or teachers understand children's upbringing and how they understand the ways of promoting values to children. Education, as stipulated in Article 29 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, should aim at the development of the personality of the child. So how can we talk about development of the personality of the child if we exercise violence against children? It's very important to understand and to apply the positive measures of disciplining. Yes, children need to understand through various processes of growth, of development, with age and maturity increasing, they should understand the values. A ladder of values should become clear to children. What is right? What is wrong? What is harmful to others? How my liberty should end when the liberty of others start? How I should accept others? How I should be tolerant to others? And how I should respect the views of others? How I should have constructive dialogue with my friends, with my peers, with my family members, with my teachers, with everyone. So all these come as part of building a value system for children. And parents, especially parents, but also teachers, and anyone who contributes to raising children, including media, should focus on positive measures of disciplining. So we discipline children by first being a model for them, a model of tolerance, a model of understanding, a model of having a constructive dialogue with others. And whenever children do any mistake, whenever children commit a wrongdoing, this is exactly the best time to show them how to react to that and how to turn out any negative situation into a positive one, thus contributing to building a value-based system where children grow up understanding what is good and what is bad, what is negative and what is positive as well. So any disciplining measure of children should have a very clear pedagogical objective. That's why we always recommend to parents, whenever they need to take a disciplinary measure, they should immediately think, what will be the final outcome of this measure? Will I be building a wall between myself and my child if I exercise that disciplining measure, or I will be contributing to a better relationship, to more understanding, to better dialogue, to stronger dialogue, so the child does not repeat the same mistake another time, and if the child gets into problems at any time, then she or he will resort to the parents, who are the best source of trust and of information to the child. Here comes also the role of teachers. Teachers are extremely important, and that's why corporal punishment, when banned in schools, should be banned also in families. And it does not work out to have a double standard system where children experience violence at home and then teachers have to cope with the idea of children being subject to violence at home or in the society, and preaching and promoting a model of nonviolence which is not applied at home. So there should be consistency, and that's why Georgia has become the 58th country worldwide banning all forms of violence and corporal punishment against children. And UNICEF congratulated Georgia for that, and we encourage all countries to do the same. Because children have the right to be respected. Children have the right to be non-discriminated. Children have the right to participate in all what affect their lives, and participation is a meaningful one. They cannot participate if they are subject to violence. They cannot participate if they are abused. And violence could be physical, could be mental, could be psychological, but also neglect is one form of violence against children. So that's why the best interest of the child, which is the key principle and the main philosophy of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, means that the child has first to be respected. A child, a human being below the age of 18 years old, has to enjoy all the rights, starting by the right to be respected. And Article 12 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child also stipulates the right to respect for the views of the child in all what affect their lives. Violence also against children has another dimension, a very dangerous one, because children who are subject to violence, either they become oppressed and this affects their whole life, or they violate themselves later on the rights of others and they exercise violence against others. That's why violence is unfortunately a circle, a chain. And the only way to prevent violence in the society is to start with children by respecting them and making sure that no violence is exercised against them. This is how we reach a society which is more peaceful, but also a society where differences are accepted, where conflicts are resolved in a non-violent manner. And this is crucial for democratic societies as well. Differences, conflicts to be resolved in a non-violent manner through dialogue and through democratic practices. The Convention on the Rights of the Child is very clear, and Article 19 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, in addition to all the articles dealing with protection measures from Article 32 to Article 40, they stipulate extremely clearly that children should be respected, that children should not be subject to violence, and this includes the family, schools, child institutions, and all other institutions, state institutions, but also the community itself, where a culture of child rights should be promoted. That's why the child rights centers that UNICEF supports in Georgia are extremely important in connecting to schools and in promoting the child rights culture and makes it stronger in the community and in the society. I would like to also highlight a very important dimension when it comes to violence against children, which relates to children in institutions. All children should enjoy a family environment. Institutions, when children are placed in institutions, they experience an environment which is conducive to violence, which is conducive to abuse, which is conducive to exploitation. That's why children should grow up with families. Always biological family gets the priority, and then if biological family is not possible, adoption is there as an option, and fostering is also an option, and as a measure of last resort, small-scale family-type institutions having a few children only, enjoying a family-type environment. With that, I would like to end up by saying that everyone, starting from parents to teachers, to government officials, to civil society activists, everyone has to advocate for a society which is free from violence against children. This is the only way to ensure that the society as a whole is a peaceful society and rights of children and adults are respected.